In the last 60 years, Godzilla's kicked some serious kaiju ass. But who were his most memorable enemies? Here are my top 10. Number 10. Rodan. Rodan is a Daikaiju monster which first appeared as the title character in Toho's 1956 film, Rodan. This giant, pterodactyl-like beast is one of Godzilla's more persistent supporting players. Usually an enemy, but sometimes an ally. He can fly at Mach 3 and is capable of unleashing devastating sonic booms. He's never really the main focus in any of the Godzilla movies he appears in, but he's still a valuable supporting player. Number 9. Mewtoes. Like a classic comedy duo, the Mewtoes of Godzilla 2014 fall into the small guy, big guy formula, but as a unit, they form a pretty formidable opponent, due to their EMP generating abilities. The smaller male Mewtwo is a flying creature that evokes Mecha Godzilla in particular, while the more massive female seems to have been inspired by Orga. They literally eat and digest radiation as food. Their death scenes are also appropriately gruesome in the grand Godzilla tradition. Number 8. Orga. Kaiju from the most recent Millennium series don't seem to be very popular, but Orga is one of the cooler, more underrated Godzilla foes. The story begins with a UFO, piloted by invading aliens, always a Godzilla staple. The sample of Godzilla's DNA allows the aliens piloting the craft to transform into the truly massive Orga. The whole DNA story's been done to death also. He's unique in his size, big enough to actually attempt swallowing Godzilla at one point. Number 7. Anguirus. Anguirus first met Godzilla by battling him in Godzilla Raids Again, but eventually he became Big G's most trusted and helpful ally. He's almost like a pet to Godzilla, and the first to leap into action whenever a new threat presents itself. Or perhaps the Robin to Godzilla's Batman would be a more accurate description. Squat, short, and spiky, like an imposing armadillo. He's not the biggest of the monsters, but he's very tough and often takes quite a beating without giving up. Number 6. BioLantee. BioLantee is unquestionably the most creative monster design to come out of the Heisei series of Godzilla flicks. This plant-based monster was the first Godzilla enemy to be born using his DNA as a base, but it looks nothing like Zilla. Oh wait, I shouldn't call him Zilla, because that's another actual kaiju. She's also the first female kaiju. The design is a tangled mess of vines and a massive mouth full of sharp teeth. She also possesses the ability to regenerate large amounts of her body if destroyed. Number 5. Destroyer. When Toho decided to legitimately kill Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Destroyer, they knew they would need an epic villain to do the job. Destroyer was fittingly born from the Oxygen Destroyer, the weapon that killed the original Godzilla in the 1954 film. He's huge, even bigger than the adult Godzilla, and absolutely diabolical looking, combining elements of crustaceans, dragons, and demons. He takes on the most powerful version of Godzilla ever put on film, and brings him to the brink of death. Number 4. Gigan. The design for Gigan is just crazy. Whoever dreamt him up should be closely monitored. He's basically a walking set of blades with big, curved scythes for arms. But what truly takes the cake is his signature weapon, a rotating saw blade stuck right down the middle of his chest. It spins like a table saw and spells death for anyone who gets too close. His early films in the Showa series were mediocre, but the greatness of Gigan was recognized in Final Wars. As a villain, he generally loses, but may one day give Godzilla a run for his money. Number 3. King Kong. Kong arrived in Toho's Godzilla series with the benefit of instant name recognition. He's blown up to Godzilla's size and gained some other bizarre characteristics, the most interesting being an affinity for electricity that gives him electrical powers. This can be explained by the fact that the film was originally intended to be King Kong vs. Frankenstein. The electricity elements were simply transferred from Frankenstein's monster to Kong in the final cut. Rumor has it we'll see a new Godzilla vs. Kong movie in 2020. Explains why the Skull Island Kong was so much bigger than the Peter Jackson version. Number 2. Mecha Godzilla. I'm not sure who's more popular, Mecha Streisand or Mecha Godzilla. He first appeared in Godzilla vs. Mecha Godzilla, and is one of the most fearsome and dangerous of Godzilla's foes, and also appears as a hero in the Millennium series films as an anti-Godzilla deterrent. Unlike many of the other kaiju, he almost always comes out on top. Well, at least once, whenever he appears. It often takes the combined might of several combatants to bring him down. His weaponry varies from film to film, but it's always effective. Number 1. Ghidorah. The presence of Ghidorah elevates any movie he's in. The three-headed golden dragon is probably Godzilla's most recognizable foe, and is rightly considered his worst archenemy, appearing in nearly as many films as Mothra, and almost always in the role of the villain. In many of his films, Ghidorah is a super boss, such as in Destroy All Monsters, where it takes at least half a dozen combatants to go toe-to-toe with him. Couple that with a distinctive and cool-looking design, and you have a classic monster, one who looks even cooler once he becomes Mecha King Ghidorah in the Heisei series. So that brings us to the end of my favorite top 10 enemy kaiju. Which video should I cover next? Creature or dinosaur or kaiju? Please let me know in the comments below, and I might make it. Until next time, thank you for watching Mega Top 10s. I've been Viral Killer. Subscribe to my main channel. Thank you.